What's up, YouTube? It's Crazy Gunner here, and today I am very excited because I have got a new microphone. So I would like you guys to tell me how I sound, if you think I should go back to the old mic or this new microphone that my parents very generously bought for me. And in case any of you were wondering, yes, my parents do know about my YouTube stuff, and actually they are very supportive. They think it's really cool that I'm making videos on YouTube, and they are starting to ask me, hey, when are you gonna make money? And I'm telling them, you know what, even if I do start making money, it's gonna be a lot little, but I find it kind of interesting. A lot of people, it varies really far from parents that are just like, you can't play video games at all, why do you even have an Xbox, to parents who are like, hey, I'm gonna jump on the Xbox with you. It's kind of an interesting thing, but I'm a fortunate one. My dad actually introduced me to video games. But that's another story for another time, because right now I have part 2 of my Quarry adventures for you guys. This time was a little more hectic, and if you did not have the pleasure of listening to my first part of this story, I'll just fill you in. Basically, I found an abandoned quarry, or stone quarry, or I knew it was there for a while. Me and my friends decided to go there. We broke some stuff, we got stuck in some stuff, and we climbed a bunch of stuff that resembles the map Rust in Modern Warfare 2. So if you can kind of picture that, I'll go ahead and move on right in my story. So after getting chased out by the bees, we went back the next day and decided that we didn't really want to go on the beehive-infested, rust-like big station called the MoonTower. So we went to this smaller yet equally disturbing-looking kind of extra building, I guess you could call it. I don't really know how to describe it, but it was about half the size of the MoonTower, I'd say. It didn't really have like a tower or anything. It didn't have any mixing stuff. It had a bunch of levers on the top, so I assumed it was kind of a sort of control tower, I guess you could say. But we walked up and we looked at it, and for whatever reason, there were 2 ladders sitting next to each other to get to the top. And mind you, this thing's about 30 feet tall, 35 feet tall. There are 2 ladders side by side, and I'm thinking, wow, they had to make 2 ladders that are 20 feet tall instead of making like 1 ladder that is 35 feet tall. I didn't really understand why they had to do that, but I guess they like to make things a little more dangerous, so there's bigger chances of you dying if you mess up. Maybe the guy who contracted the building of it wanted it to have a big chance of you falling and getting hurt, so maybe he could sue the company or maybe get some sort of big tax return, and maybe everything in the world's just a huge conspiracy. Maybe the moon landing didn't even happen. I mean, how did the camera get there in the first place? I don't even know. Like, if they could have gotten the camera there, why couldn't they have like landed there in the first place and just taken out a little vlog camera and been like, hey, this is me on the moon? And what if everything in the world doesn't even exist and we're all in the Matrix and we don't even exist? Or what if we're not even in the Matrix and we're all just figments of someone's imagination and we don't truly exist, we're all just inside someone's head thought up because of the processing power in the brain that would be even stronger than a Matrix? Wow, I apologize, I just went on a huge tangent and I should probably take that out of my commentary. But I'm not going to, because that's how I truly feel. But anyways, we start climbing these ladders and I let my friend go ahead of him. This, mind you, is the friend that's really ballsy and does the stupid stuff. For example, he's the one that screamed, "For Allah!" And we start climbing these ladders, and because these ladders are pretty long, we stupidly got on more than 1 person per ladder. So my friend got onto the second ladder, and I was just moving over. And as he reached the top, I moved over to the second ladder and started climbing up. And as I'm climbing up this ladder, I'm realizing there are a lot of bolts missing on this ladder. And as I jumped on it, it started to sway. It went back and forth. Mind you, at this point, I am 15 to 20 feet in the air, and there are 2 people on this ladder that is only being held by 2 bolts at the very top of the ladder, so I was kind of scared, but my friend eventually reached the top, and so I'm starting to climb up this ladder, because I'm like, alright, I got this, there's no one on my ladder now. And as I was reaching the top of the ladder with my friend starting to get on the bottom of the ladder that I was on, my friend that was on the top screams, "Oh, shit." And then we heard these weird noises that sounded kind of like, and we're like, what is going on up there? And he just comes running towards my ladder, and I've already got a person below me on this rickety ladder, and he says, get down the ladder, get down the ladder, get down the ladder. I'm like, oh, I can't. There's kind of people on this, and so I'm like pushing the person down the ladder that's under me. He's practically stomping on my fingers. We're all swaying on this ladder, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my god, this is the end. I'm going to die. Life is over. I had a good life. Now I'm done. Goodbye. But my friend at the very bottom level was luckily able to get onto the first ladder, which was much more sturdy, and so then it was only me and the friend who was very ballsy. Now, this kid looked as if he had just stared into the pits of hell, and he was trying to get down that ladder as fast as he could. So by trying to get down so so fast, I'm forced to get down really fast, and this thing starts swaying back and forth really hard. So at this point, I'm at the bottom of the ladder, and my friend did not give me any time to swing to the other side. Mind you, we are 20 feet in the air right now, so I basically had to take a leap of faith and try and catch myself on the second ladder, because these things are about 3 feet apart, but we were swinging and swaying, so I couldn't really gauge when I was going to be able to land on the other side and catch myself, and so I just jump, and I could hear angels singing as I flew through the air. It was just like, oh! And then I landed on the other ladder safe and sound, got all the way down, and said, oh my god, that was the scariest moment of my life. Now, being the curious and extremely adventurous person that I am, I wanted to go and see what my friend had actually seen and if he had actually stared into the depths of hell. So I climbed up the ladder. This time, though, we were a little more careful. We went one person at a time, so I get to the top of the ladder. I get up there, I don't see anything right away. Then I stick my head around a corner, and sitting in a little nest are 3 of the ugliest, hairless little owl babies I have ever seen in my life. And you may be thinking, oh, an owl baby, all this cute little furball. No, these things had enormous black beady eyes. They looked like a pink hairless monkey that had weird little claws, stupid feet, and it was just sitting there huddled in a corner screeching at me. This was a screech owl. That was the stupid retarded noise that we heard. And I'm sitting here thinking, these are babies? I thought the point of a baby was to look cute so that you don't kill it. I mean, am I wrong? I thought the point of babies was to look harmless so other animals know that that animal is harmless and either they can decide to chow down or leave it alone because it's harmless. But no, these things were like the exception to all baby rules. I mean, I couldn't have ever thought I could have possibly imagined an uglier baby. Literally, this thing looked like if you put a beak on a monkey that you just lit on fire. That is how I could probably describe this thing. It was pink, nasty, had little white hairs, and don't get me wrong, these things were not fresh. They were full grown, they just didn't have feathers. And I thought owls were supposed to get feathers by the time they got to this size, but I don't know what's wrong with these. Maybe they just came out of a tornado and had all their feathers ripped off, but they were disgusting. Anyways, that's the end of my story, and this gameplay will be wrapping up soon, but before I leave you guys, I want to let you know that I will be putting this up on Facebook in the Machinima Respawn, so if you could please check that out and give me a bump, that would be sweet sauce. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, make sure you come check out my channel as I will be making a part 3 very soon. Anyways, I'm Crazy Gunner, you guys, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.